Pocket nines is Phil Hellmuth's favorite hand after winning the 1989 World Series Poker Main Event with it. But it's the same hand that Phil Hellmuth finds himself with right now, and he is in a bit of a predicament against the YouTube legend MrBeast. Not only does this 24-year-old MrBeast have over 94 million YouTube subscribers, but he also has the very vital ability in this game to get under Phil Hellmuth's skin.
What in the hell is going on?
He has probably something good, and he wants me to bet, but I kind of want him to bet as well, so it's fine.
Let's see if Phil Hellmuth can overcome this young YouTube legend at the Hustler Casino live game and not get crushed by the Beast.
Your weakness is you don't stop thinking about content.
Hey, by the way, you want to all in?
Oh, I saw your tweet about the...
No, Phil picks up queens.
Yeah.
That was a cool...
Last hand, wins a nice pot. Now he picks up the hand that won him his first World Series of Poker main event.
Oh, yeah.
Back in 1989, he won that with pocket nines.
It was just a discount.
More than I thought. It was one...
And joining us now, as promised, is Chicago Joey. Joey Ingram. How are you, my man?
Tuck, what's happening? It's great to be here. Shout out to everybody out there watching a crazy game right now, man.
Yeah, you know what's happening? A blatant disregard for the American dollar right now.
Made a coupon code called where?
Yeah, I mean, Phil Hellmuth, I'm not sure why he's so short stack right now. I feel like he should be covering a lot of these players right here. I'm surprised he doesn't have 600,000 in front of him right now. Real surprised by that, Tuck.
100 bars of chocolate.
Are you, though? You've seen Phil.
I mean, listen, if there's ever a time to top up to 600,000, this might be the spot for you. So I'm just surprised my guy Phil Hellmuth, right? I'm just surprised that he wouldn't have that confidence in himself to go in deeper here. Maybe he thinks he's got that big advantage with that 50K stack, but just, I don't know, you got MrBeast with 150 in front of him, so.
$3 million retail, like 450 in inventory.
The what? What?
I just told the story like 3 times.
He lost a ton of money by tweeting out, I'm going to give people free chocolate who like this tweet.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Chicago Joey. As he says, if you think you have a skill edge over your opponents and you are playing a cash game, you want to have more money than them unless you think for some reason you're especially bad playing deep stacked poker. Maybe Phil Hellmuth thinks that he's really bad at playing deep stack poker, and if that's the case, you might as well buy in shallow. But if you think you have a big skill advantage over your opponents, you want to have as much money as possible. The only exception is when the big stacks are on your left and the short stacks are on your right, but for the most part, you want to have a lot of chips at the table. All right, let's get to this hand. Phil Hellmuth limps the pocket nines. I guess he thinks they're not good enough for a raise. Then a bunch of other people limp. Then we see a raise with ace-9 offsuit from Slime and the hijack seat over a few limpers. And I think this is probably fine. It's a big raise, but, whatever. MrBeast, who seems to be a relatively loose, flashy poker player to say the least, he opts to call in the cutoff, and then XQC re-raises to 5,000 in the big blind with the ace-2 offsuit. This is not a good play. The reason this is not a good play is because you're going to be heavily dominated when you have ace-2 offsuit, and you're out of position, and you're always going to get called, at least by Slime and MrBeast, who are going to have position on you. So with hands like ace-2 offsuit here, you just want to get out of the way. Back around to Phil Hellmuth playing $61,000 deep. I suppose calling with the nines is fine and reasonable. If he was a little bit shallower stack, maybe he could just rip it in. But I think in this scenario, calling is okay. I realize that normally whenever it goes limp, 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 12 big blinds, 25 big blinds back to you, you're not in great shape. But if there's ever a game to splash with the nines, this is it. That said, maybe just re-raising and getting in is acceptable. Alexandra, who previously limped with the king-8 offsuit, gets out of the way, which I think is a very good play. Some people splash around, but that is definitely not ideal. Alan Keating sees the flop with the 8-6 offsuit. Sure, why not? Back over to Slime and MrBeast. They both call and see the flop, and we see a 5-way flop, with the pot being $25,000. To recap, we'll go by position. XQC, who re-raised from the big blind, has ace-2 offsuit. Phil Hellmuth has pocket nines under the gun. Alan Keating has 8-6 offsuit in middle position. Slime in the hijack seat has ace-9 offsuit. And MrBeast has a mystery hand. You think MrBeast has a better hand than pocket nines? Does he at least have 2 overcards? I guess we'll find out together. All right, let's go to the flop.
Interesting.
King high flop, not the flop Phil was looking for with nines.
I dropped $100 into the devil. It's extra solid. I can't believe
Looks like Alexandra Botez is absolutely crushing it right now. Love to see that. Alex is, one of my favorite players to kind of come into poker over this past year.
Yeah, you dubbed her at the beginning of the show. You said, queen of chess, but possibly the queen of poker going forward, and she's up at $500,000.
I mean, listen, anytime you win $500,000, you're thinking about playing more poker. So I'm pretty sure Alex is going to be sending out more messages to people about getting in some more games now.
Bro,
No, they're fine. As long as you don't look at them. As long as you don't
look at your cards the rest of his hand, or I can see them.
Check to you.
Oh, everyone wants me to be the better? Well, you're right. 10.
10,000.
Somehow, the flop comes king, queen, 10, and everybody has a literal airball. They have nothing. Checks around to MrBeast with his amazing poker senses. Says, you all have nothing? I'll fire 10,000. Hey, when everyone checks you in a multi-way pot, especially when the pot's already big and you got to think a lot of people would be pretty inclined to bet after the last re-raise where the big blind checked. Yeah, if there's ever a spot to take a stab at the pot and try to pick it up, I guess this is it. Good job, MrBeast. I have no clue what he has. Let's see if it works.
I don't know what MrBeast has, but based on what everybody else has, likely he's got the best hand here.
X, you're in an all-in or fold situation.
Phil's going to call anyway with nines. Not a believer.
Since we still don't know what MrBeast has, let's analyze this from Phil Hellmuth's shoes. He is under the gun with a few players yet to act, facing a $10,000 bet, which was about 40-ish% pot. I think with nines on king, queen, 10, you just have to fold. And the reason is because you have a few players yet to act who could easily have a pair. They may even be slow playing with a straight or something. Not that I think that's all that likely, but it could be happening. And also, MrBeast can just have a random queen, and you're going to lose, right? Now, you may say, well, Phil has a gut shot. Shouldn't he stick around with his gut shot? The problem is that if he does get a jack on the turn, there's no guarantee that he has the best hand because MrBeast could just easily have a random ace. Also, if MrBeast keeps betting on any turn and or river, I mean, what is Phil going to do? Just find a call down with an underpair lower than the board? I highly doubt that's what's going to happen. So this is a spot where, like, if we were all in for 10,000 to the 45,000 total pot, maybe Phil could call. But from out of position in this spot, you're going to drastically under-realize your equity. So I think you just have to get out of the way. But Phil Hellmuth, many, many, many times World Series Poker Bracelet winner, decides that he is going to tangle with MrBeast. Let's see how it goes.
Can everyone fold?
It's
No,
heads up.
there's me and Mr. Phil over there.
Phil's dying to win this.
Interesting. We'll run it. Actually, I'll check.
Check around.
Who's got it here, Joey? What's your read?
MrBeast has a 10.
10?
A 10, yeah.
He has probably something good, and he wants me to bet, but I kind of want him to bet as well, so it's fine. We'll do.
That's your call, and you bet.
25.
25,000.
Did he make two pair? 10-3?
Okay. I mean, I have a queen, so you probably have a king.
You got a queen? You got me.
Yeah.
Queen of hearts, 5 of hearts.
Another great value bet, by the way. He got paid off with ace high, and then fast forward 12 minutes.
What in the f***ing hell is going on?
Do you think that he's putting on a show for the cameras? Or do you think he genuinely gets this incredibly worked up when playing a nice casual game of poker? Let me know what you think in the comment section below.
Yeah.
It's like impossible that I could ever be losing in this game. The man just bet a queen 5.
for a living?
I called 5,000 under the gun. I got to have nines or above, and he bet a queen 5 for value on the river. I just have never seen such a bad play. And then he said, you win, because he never can win with it. He was
a really good hand. He wants me to bet, but I...
No, I was saying that because I wanted him to fold. I thought I was dead.
Of course you thought you were dead. They're bluffing off their money to me. And, oh my God, this is so weird.
25K was a perfect bet size.
This is your
No, he was trying, he's like,
worst calls of all time.
Phil Hellmuth calls. Click the like button down below if you're enjoying seeing Phil Hellmuth call because you know he's about to lose. Phil Hellmuth calls. He loses. He has to remove his jacket. He has to get in his classic rant. And he cannot comprehend how he's losing in this game. But I'll tell you how you're losing in this game, Phil. You called with nothing on the river. There's a very important play in poker. It's whenever somebody bets the river, if you have nothing, you should fold. That's my poker tip today for all of you. That's going to be it. If you enjoyed the video, click like, click subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all of you. Again, remember, on the river, if someone makes a bet into a big pot and you have literal nothing, it's okay to fold.